Okay, girls. So we decided to grow chickens and plant our own food because one thing, chickens are a great source of protein. And we did this before there was the chicken shortage. And it was twofold. One, we could process all of our leftover food and all of our table scraps, and we could convert it to human protein that we could consume as a family. And the quality of the eggs that we get from here are more nutritious than what you can get from a store. So it's a very good form of ecology.
The avian flu pandemic is really sad. A lot of birds have been lost. A lot of family farms and large production farms in particular have been really strongly impacted, especially farms of large scale. And just like when we were in the pandemic and we did this social distancing, that tends to be a good practice for viruses, even plant viruses. If you can keep things further away from one another, it'll slow down the spread or reduce the spread. Where things very crowded, it will spread very rapidly. So the typical production systems that are feeding into our grocery stores, large chain grocery stores, they would tend to be very large scale, a million birds on a farm, and pretty close quarters. So those kinds of growing conditions are more susceptible to something like a virus going through. So keeping our numbers small, keeping the birds in open quarters, that's going to help a lot.
So one thing you learn about agriculture is you have to learn about the laws of nature. And if you violate the laws of nature, there will be consequences. And one of the consequences is if you have too big of an operation, disease and pathogens become a huge problem. And then you're constantly fighting them. When we tried to grow our flock from about 12 birds to 20 birds, they always died back to 12 birds. So we realized that that's the natural number of birds that we need to keep for an operation is 12. When you go and exceed 12 birds, you end up then fighting nature and pathogens, and it just isn't worth the fight. And a lot of people don't understand where the food comes from. They don't understand what goes into making it. And it also teaches you that you're no longer the center of the universe, that nature will keep you very humble.